Testing, testing, one, two, three. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Okay, just give us about a good 6 more minutes and we will get ready for the rent and discussion. Thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I know I go live a little early, but I was trying to make certain that my audio and video and all my connections is up and at 'em because not only do I do my streaming here on YouTube, I also stream live on Facebook as well as Twitter, well, X, formerly known as Twitter. So I just want to make sure those connections are copacetic as well. So we got about another 3 more minutes and then we're going to get on to the random discussion. So bear with me. Okay, I was going to wait about another 2 more minutes, but you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get things rolling. Ain't nothing to it but to just do it. So let's go ahead and get on to it. I'd like for you guys to see me. And here I am. Thank you all for tuning in to another Monday rant and discussion. I happen to be Househead Speaks. I'm your host. I'm also a DJ as well. Been DJing since 2017. And for those who are tuning in here on YouTube, thank you so much. Want to let you know that right now we're standing on 173 subscribers here on YouTube. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed to this channel. Thank you so much. Nothing but love for you guys. I hope what I'm bringing is giving you a teachable moment and also helping you on your DJ journey. For those who are on Facebook Live, you're on my House Says Speaks Facebook page. Thank you so much for tuning in there. I appreciate that. And also for those who on X, formerly known as Twitter, I appreciate you being there as well. So we're just gonna get to it. Um, Today I posed a question for myself, and I hope you know when I go down to answering this question, as you'll see above me right here, then that will also help you as a DJ, especially if you're a DJ who's about to get into the pro circuit, or if you still doing your practice and stuff like that, and you're about to embark on the pro circuit. There's some things that you really want to take heed to and take note as you becoming a pro DJ. Now, of course, when I say pro DJ, I mean a DJ who's actually taking this seriously. You have went beyond the hobby stage and you actually getting out there playing at gigs, or you constantly doing live streams, whatever the case may be. I'm sorry, whatever the case there be, but you are really standing yourself out as that pro DJ. Now, even though this thing is so much fun to do and you get a lot of joy out of it, you have to take it seriously. So, what I want to speak to you guys and gals today on, how do I take, this DJ pro game seriously? And we're about to get ready to get into it. So, let's go with the presentation. Here we go. Let me back this up a bit. Here we go. Yes. How do I take myself seriously as a pro DJ? Well, let's find out. Okay, now, taking yourself as a pro DJ, okay, it's about shifting your mindset. And when you mean shifting your mindset, you want to transform yourself from the hobby bedroom style DJ to now you actually getting out there playing at gigs, or you getting out there, you know, posting yourself on various radio shows, or you're getting out there doing live streams, whether you are conducting Ray Train, where you have a weekly show that you are playing consistently, or that you're involved with various rain trains. Now, the reason why I'm saying all these things because I have done all these things. That's why I can speak on this. Okay. Now, this what you want to do is you want to have that mindset, and then you want to back it up with actions that reflects professionalism, consistency, and self-respect. And the reason why those things matter is because professionalism, of course, you want to present yourself as a pro. You don't want to be like the days ago when you're doing this, especially when you're going out there and you're presenting yourself to a promoter or a fellow DJ who's running an event, and they hire you, as part of their lineup. You want to definitely let them know that you have what it takes to fulfill what they want, which is to do your thing as a DJ. Okay, remember, they're paying you to DJ. Make sure that they are not wasting their time and especially their money. Okay. Now, consistency, you want to be consistent. That means you are putting yourself out there to the masses, letting them know that you are a pro DJ. And we're going to go through the steps on how to make that happen. And you want to, and self-respect means you want to take yourself seriously and you want to ensure yourself that you got this and you can do this and you are a pro DJ and you can say it with your chest. So we're gonna go to the next slide. Okay. Treat this like a business. Now, as I said before, this thing is fun, but in all actuality, and especially when you're getting out there to gigs and you're being hired from, like I said, and you're being hired to play, and also getting paid to do that, you definitely want to treat it as a business. Okay. First of all, you want to set a goal. That means plan accordingly. You know, you want to plan. If you get hired to a particular gig, you want to make sure you plan that out. If you have a weekly residency, make sure you have a plan in place for that. Even if you have your own show, plan for that. If you part of a raid train, plan for that. I mean, myself, I, on my Google Calendar, I plot, everything that I'm being hired to, to whatever gigs I'm scheduled to play, to if I have a show that I play that I do constantly, that's on there, and also if I'm part of a raid train or I conduct a raid train myself, and I have that scheduled as well. So I have everything scheduled so I do not miss a beat. And with that schedule, I plan everything out accordingly. I make sure that my flyers are done. I'm gonna use me conducting a raid train as an example. Okay, I conduct a raid train, which means I already posted out the slots that I need to be available for a DJ to claim them. Okay, so once those DJs claim those slots, I start with my flyer. Once my flyer is done, I go ahead and post the flyer to my housemaster's Discord. Once that gets pointed out, I make sure I let the DJs know that the flyer is out, and I make sure they have accessibility to those flyers. Now, if there's a DJ that's not on Discord or whatever the case may be, and they probably just on Twitch, I send a whisper message on Twitch. I ask for their email address so I can email them the flyer and logos that's needed, to put on their overlays for house masters. Once they do that, then that means when we start the show, whoever starts first, they start first, and then it all goes down the line. But as you can see by the steps that I made, everything has been planned out. And this is something that I do in repetition. That's where the consistency comes in. Okay. Now, invest in yourself. That means, when I mean invest in yourself, that means make sure that the tools that you need to DJ is updated and is up to snuff. Now, if you're starting out, please listen to me. If you're starting out, I don't expect you to blow your entire wad of cash on the latest DJ gear. Don't do that to yourself. Cause trust, I didn't do it. If you have seen my show that I did, previously, it talks about my DJ journey. It also talks about, you know, how did I start from, how I start and why I play a controller. I start from the most smallest controller, which was the We Go 4 by Pioneer, and I went from there and gradually upgrade to what I have now, which is the Pioneer Open Squad. But trust me, it took time and it took savings and it took money to get to the system that I have. I do post my system that I have here for live streaming, you know, the photos that I have. I do post that, on certain areas, and sometimes I post it on my presentations as well. But just to let you know that everything I have done as far as upgrading my whole streaming system, it took time. It took a lot of time. I mean, from 2017 to today, that's some years, you know, and we can't mention, and that's not including, what went on during the shutdown. That slowed everything down. So it took me longer to get the things that I wanted. And then when new stuff started coming out, I was hesitating to get what I wanted until I saw exactly what I did want it, and that will be my final upgrade. So it takes time when you upgrade. So you want to invest in your upgrade, and you also want to invest in your music library. Make sure that that is always updated. You know, I mean, join as many. Find your specific record pool. Join that. If you're not into record pool, I always recommend Track Source and Beatport. And then there's another one that I just discovered from Crossfader. They have a YouTube channel. Shout out to them, and it's called Volume. It's European. It's European owned, and excuse me, it's European owned, and I've been learning how to navigate that particular site as well. So you want to have as many places to purchase your music as possible. Why? Because you want to be different. You want to stand out. You don't want to sound like everybody else. That's why you invest in your music always. Also, invest in your branding and invest in your promotion. Branding means if make sure you have a logo. Make sure you have a DJ name. Make sure if you decide to come out with a t-shirt and apparel line, make sure you make sure you have your designs is unique. Make sure those designs are protected. I'm in the process of trademarking my stuff now. So when I'm really prepared to actually sell my stuff, then I will be able to do it and don't have to worry about nobody trying to take any of my designs. So that's that's what it means about those things about investing in yourself, and know your worth. Okay, you know, if you like, say for instance, I know that if you're starting out, you should play places for exposure, and I am all for that because you should. I mean, there's places that you should play for exposure, but at the same time, if that exposure doesn't benefit you in the long run, I will say no and don't do it. Never be afraid to turn anything down or say no to anything. Because remember, this is you. You are the brand. Your name and your reputation is it should be you should be able to you should protect it at all times. If something doesn't feel right or if it's not benefiting you as who you are as a DJ, turn it down and don't regret about it. Okay? Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, build a pro image. Okay, first off, your DJ and your brand. That should be one of the key things that you should think of as far as your image, okay? And make sure that when you introduce yourself as your DJ, and especially when you're going out to venues and you're going out to places where it's a possible you possible gig, or if you've been hired to a place, let people know your DJ name. Hello, my name is House that Speaks. Or if you feel the need to say your real name, say your real name. Say my name is Antoine. They also, better known as House that Speaks because that's my DJ name. You always want to make sure they know your DJ name. Always make sure they know your DJ name. That's the most important. Okay. Now, if you able to get you a press kit going, do a press kit. I also would recommend a website, and I would say you can use Canva. I use Canva to build my website, and it was so simple, so easy, so user friendly, and it didn't cost as much as I thought it would be. Okay, I mean, I even paid for, to have my DJ domain name. So, so you can use a press kit or you can use a website that has all your information. So either area will be beneficial for you as far as your branding is concerned. And also, it will definitely make you stand out as a pro instead of just a hobbyist DJ. Okay. Social media presence, that is so important, especially in today's DJ realm. If you're not in tune with social media by now as a DJ, you are really hurting yourself. Okay. Now, say for instance, right here, this is part of my professional image in my presence because I have a channel that speaks about DJing, okay? That I'm bringing information to you guys, okay? I also have a segment where I show how I approach transitions of different music genre, okay? And that's also on this YouTube channel. I also have a Twitch, X. I have Facebook pages, not just one. I have a Facebook page for my House that Speaks Designs. I have one for my DJ. I even have a group page as well. And I'm also on Instagram. I use Instagram. I also have a server on Discord. So as you can see, and all of them stems from my DJ name. House That Speaks. The only thing that doesn't is is my LinkedIn. But if you go into my LinkedIn under my real name, what you will see as far as the profile and all the other things, it's all involving DJing. That's one thing that's involving what I do as far as day jobs concerned. Why? Because I created my social media to evolve around myself as a DJ. So when anybody is looking for me, they know to when to what I'm all about and how to find me. And also, I also have SoundCloud and Mixcloud where I post my mixes that I record, and I recently have a channel on the new platform that's out there called LFG.TV, and that's House That Speaks underscore DJ. So as you can see, as far as a pro image is concerned, I cover as many bases as I want to that favors me. Now the reason why I haven't mentioned TikTok because I don't use TikTok. Now you can now if you're a DJ and you especially if you're a young DJ, I feel that I know that most of all the young DJs out there uses TikTok and utilize it. That's okay. That's okay, and you should continue to do so. Just make sure you keep it within your realms of you DJing and not using for other for other avenues, and you'll be fine. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Home in your craft. I remember years ago when I used to watch sports, and I was, especially I used to watch the NBA, and there was a player by the name of Ivan Anderson. If I think I'm pronouncing his name right. If I'm not, I apologize for that. And I remember one time some reporter got on him about practice, and he said, "Why you we talking about practice? Not a game, not a game, but practice." Now, I say this, I say that to say this: you have to practice. Practice makes perfect, and if you want to be serious as a pro DJ and want people to take you seriously, you have to hone in your skills, hone in your craft. Okay? Now, what I always say about, what I always say to, when I always if give advice to new upcoming DJs, I always tell them at least set aside to practice at least 1 hour to 2 hours a day. At least that. Okay, and record everything. You don't have to post it for everybody else to to see. You can put it as a private, and you critique yourself so you can know that whatever errors that you making, you can touch on that. Whatever nuances that you think that you can tweak that. So it gives you a clear cut picture on where you are and how you're progressing so you can be able to reach that goal of a pro DJ. So yeah, always home in your craft. Always practice. You know, practice your set. And then also when you're getting ready to do a gig, now I know some DJs they do a playlist as far as their sets is concerned. I sometimes do, and most times do not. And the reason why I say mostly I don't do it is because when I get to the certain gig, I would like to be as organic as possible. That's number one. And number two, I like to see what, especially if I'm part of a lineup, I like to see what the other DJs are playing. And if there's a genre that's not being played, I like to be the one to fill in that genre so that whole lineup can be full of nuances, unique, and hit the spot when it comes to the genres. Everybody, so that means not not a DJ is doing, you know, the same genre of music. I never liked that concept. A DJ comes in, he's playing one genre, and then another DJ comes in and he plays the same genre. I never understood that concept. I always think that in order for you to stand out, you have to stand out by being different. So that means if you know a DJ is playing a deep house set, play a soulful one, or play a garage one, play a new disco one, play a jacking one. You know, or if a DJ is playing a trance set, play a techno set. Because I don't play trance anyway, so that's why I chose techno, because I will play a techno set if I know somebody's playing a trance set. So play that, or a tech house set, play that. But stand out, be different, dare to be different. I live by that particular mantra, and it has worked out for me for my entire life. Dare to be different. Don't be afraid to be that oddball or that odd person. Don't be afraid to do that. Why? Because when you that different, you get noticed more. People want to pay more attention to you because you're like, oh, he's coming out with this and that. I got to check him out, and then they want to know more about you, and then you gain a new fan, you gain a new follower. That's how it's done. Okay. Stay sharp musically. That means dig for those tracks. Always find something new, find something different. Even if it's a genre that you love, find work on a different genre. If it's a certain sound that you like playing, find something that's out your comfort zone. Do that. Because when I started DJing, I started mostly playing, I know I started mostly playing soulful, then I played house, then I start dabbing in different genres, and discovered that I enjoy different genres of music because of me playing them. And if I didn't take the leap and do it, I wouldn't be able to discover the love for it. So, and always record yourself. Record everything that you do. Okay? Even if it's a clip, and I will get to that later, but record everything that you do. And especially if you're doing a raid train or you're doing your own show, at the privacy in your own, DJ spot, DJ studio, whatever you want to call it, always record. Always record. You know, I use Restream because Restream is one of the best things to use, best platforms to use. Not only to multi-stream, it also records not both audio and video, and it separates it. So that means I can either download the entire video with the audio, or I can download just the audio alone, and that's what I use to post my sets on both Mixcloud and SoundCloud. So just keep that in mind. Next slide. Network like a pro. Okay. Now I know this is one of those things that certain DJs cringe about. I'm like, oh, that means I gotta go out all the time. I gotta go to this place and hobnob with the DJs. And what happens if I don't, get the gig? And what happens if they just don't? You know what? I learned from that when I started out. And this is what I learned. I learned that you're not gonna get every gig that you want. You're not going to be able to play every venue that you want. But if you meet the right sort of people, or if you collaborate with the right group of people, you'll get to play consistently to whatever they have going on. They will always keep you in mind. That's why I am able to play anytime in Toronto. I have a couple of DJs here that has done events that I've been a part of nearly every single year that I've known them. One is Mr. Latin's House. Shout out to him. I have played mostly on every Twitch meetup that he has created. I have played on every one, mostly every one. The one I did not play was the one that he had this year, because I was out in Toronto. But when he did his Labor Day event, I was able to play on that, and that was fun. The other DJ, he's a great Twitch DJ, and also working on being a producer. His name is Compiler. Shout out to him. He did Techno Harbor. He started out last year. He did it this year. I was able to play on both of those events. Last year I was the closer. This year I was I was the third DJ that played this year. And it was a fun time. Playing out on the beach, enjoying the sun, enjoying the weather. It was a great time, and it was fun to play. And the cool thing about playing on that particular event, Compiler has the same all-in-one DJ system that I have, which is the Opus Quad. So I felt at ease and comfortable playing on that, and it was awesome. It was great. It was great. It was great fun. So never be afraid to you have to go and network because no one's not gonna know who you are if you keep sitting at home. You know, trust and believe on that. Also support other DJs, which means that if there's a DJ that that's playing at a certain gig, go out there and support that DJ. If you know certain DJs that's on Twitch or on LFG that's playing at a certain time, go out there, join it, join the channel, join the chat. Say hello. You know, throw there some emotes for them. Wait. Say hello to the other DJs. If there's other DJs there, follow them. Guarantee those DJs will follow you. Okay, so do that. They have mods. Give their mods a shout out. Because the mods be putting in that good work there. So get those mods a shout out. And I have mad respect for all mods, all Twitch mods. I really do. So, and then build relationships. Don't, build relationships. And I'm a prime example of that. I have a great relationship with a good friend of mine, and we've been known each other for over 10 years. We met through Facebook. I was a blogger at the time. When I informed her that I started DJing, she gave me nothing but support. She supported me at the times that I was able to play out there, where she lives. She lives in Toronto. And also, I have always supported her anytime she has a gig or certain what she's doing. I make sure I make it my business to go out there and watch her play and support. And I also support all the other DJs that's out there. Some of the DJs are Twitch DJs that's from Toronto, and some of them are promoters that throw gigs out there. And I try to support all of them as much as I can. Why? Because they support me. It's when I'm there, I'm part of the family. I don't feel like just an outsider. I'm part of their crew. I'm part of their family, and it's so refreshing to know that. That's why I go there almost every year. I just love it there. So 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 sometimes it's not about getting bookies for collaboration. It's all about getting relationships because you never know what those relationships will lead to. Never know that. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Maintain a pro mindset. First of all, knock it off with the comparison. Don't compare yourself to another DJ. Don't compare yourself to a DJ that's already have made it or is already doing their thing. You know, stay within your comfort zone. You know, if you're, and let the growth gradually happen because nothing happens overnight. And you know, especially the way things are today, with clubs closing and whatnot, there's going to be a major shift as far as us DJs and where we're going to be playing. I know that a lot of day events and rooftop parties are really blowing up. And me, on a personal level, I prefer those than a nightclub because you got a group of people who just want to listen to music and have fun and enjoy the scenery. You can't beat that. So, like I said, don't do no comparison. Find your point and use that point for your growth. And I guarantee you that growth will happen. I mainly was streaming, and that streaming has progressed to me going out and playing gigs. And as a matter of fact, now I play at certain places here in Chicago, which I never thought that would happen a few years ago. Now it's progressively happening now. Now I'm not playing at the places that I would that's on my wish list to play, but I know eventually that will happen. It's just gonna take time like everything else. So just take your time. You know, it will happen, I promise you. That's why always have that pro mindset. Okay. Carry yourself with confidence. And I'm gonna let you in on a little secret because a DJ that I know told me this. If you're not nervous the first time you step on your decks, A, you don't like what you're doing as a DJ, and B, you shouldn't be doing it. But that should be the only time you should be nervous. You should never be nervous when you're talking to a potential promoter. You should never be nervous when you're talking to a fellow DJ, especially the one that's hiring, to be part of a lineup of an event that they're involved in. You should never ever be nervous about that. You should be able to be confident to know that, hey, you got this. You know you got this, and you can get on those decks and do the doggone thing. So make sure you have that confidence and that pro mindset so they know that, hey, this is the person that if I have another event going on, I'm gonna make sure he or she's name is on that list. And that's how everything starts. And keep learning. Never stop learning. As a matter of fact, if you're a DJ, you cannot help but to keep learning. Why? Tech changes all the time. Equipment changes all the time. DJ software changes all the time. And it'll change just like that. So if you don't keep yourself abreast on what's going on, you will be left. You will be trying to play catch up, and you don't want to do as a pro DJ. That's why it also impaired to make sure you dig into your music library constantly, because you always wants to have the fresh stuff out there. Nothing wrong playing your favorites, nothing wrong playing your go-to tracks, but you don't want that to be your standard. You want you want people to know that, hey, you are versatile, and you have done your homework as far as digging for new and fresh music. That's another thing that will keep you apart from the other DJs that's out there. Okay? Now I'm going to give you the thoughts here. Now I said my thoughts, but I can't take the credit on this one. But I got this from Chat GPT. But it's a good thing. It's a good thought. It's a good process. Now I'm gonna read what I have posted. Is gonna be different from what I'm gonna read on here, but it still makes perfect sense. The fundamental shift happens when you stop asking yourself if you're a pro DJ and start acting like one everything you do. In everything you do, I should say. Once you treat yourself that way, others will too. So, in other words, once you take yourself seriously as a pro DJ, others will take you seriously as well. So, if you're if you want, let me get here because I want to close this out with this particular addition that I want to add. If you want people, if you want your followers, if you want fellow DJs, if you want promoters, if you want a festival coordinator, anything that you have your eyes on, if you want to get that, you need to let them know you can do that. Which means if you don't take yourself seriously as a pro DJ, don't expect anyone else to. I'm going to repeat this again. If you do not take yourself seriously as a pro DJ, do not expect anyone else to take you seriously as well. And on that note, about to sign off. So I hope everybody got the gist of what I'm trying to bring forth to you. I hope all my young, upcoming DJs understand what I was trying to bring to you. I hope my established DJs get the gist of it as well and know that you can't stop by being set on your laws. You got to keep practicing. You got to keep striving. You got to keep honing in that craft. That is so important. So important. Again, so if you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I'll be doing another Monday rant and discussion. And remember, everything that you have seen on my presentation will be in the description box below, so you can check it out and read yourself. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, please drop it down on the comments. I read them all and I answer them as much as I can. Or if I don't answer, I'll give a heart, or I'll agree or disagree, or whatever the case may be. But let's keep this conversation going, okay? Well, thank you so much again for tuning in. I appreciate it. This is House That Speaks. Wish you a happy, fun, and safe work week. And as always, peace and love.